We are live. Welcome to the 30-Minute Chart Club, folks. Brought to you by our friends over at TrendSpider Automated Technical Analysis, 35% discount code for those who are not currently subscribed. If you're not subscribed, you're missing an arrow in your quiver, and you need to have this tool, this AI, the algorithms working for you to help identify great support and resistance levels. And in fact, we're going to be using their screener today to identify great opportunities in the market. So what we're going to be talking about today, what we always talk about, we talk about our standard same suite of stocks week over week. Sometimes they don't look good. We have always pick out a few that do look good, and they are eligible to be added to our watch list. So last week's stocks that we added, Shopify, CRM, Nike, CMG, all were long trades. We were very bullish on them going into the new week. It was a choppy beginning of the week. However, net by the end of the week, all of these names closed up higher. So let's try to do a repeat of the success that we had last week. I will say this, though. On earnings, I did trade Chipotle Mexican Grill, and it wasn't my intent to be ultimately short, but I am. I'll explain why in a moment. And I believe that it is going up. I did not want to be short. However, them sometimes, and I'll talk to you about that trade in a moment. So first, what I want to do is I want to go through a screener and identify great setups on a scanner. And I'm going to use the TrendSpider scan, and it's something that I call the Bullish candlestick roll. And here it is. Now, if you sign up for TrendSpider or you're already a member, you want this code on how to get this added to your software, just let me know and we'll make that happen for you. I'm going to do a search of the S&P 500 and what I'm looking for on a 30-minute time frame. You could do this on a weekly time frame. You could do it on a daily time frame. But on a 30-minute time frame is scan the S&P 500, and I have 30 minutes set up here. And I want to look for opportunities as we proceed into the new trading week. And we have a couple that are popping up here. Accenture, I know this name. Nice little breakout on Friday afternoon. How do we know it was a breakout? Because the automated trend lines are telling us so. This is the algorithm telling us that there was a resistance level and we have broken out above it. Final 30 minutes of trade on volume being key. Taking a look at the next chart, Mid-America apartment communities. This is looking good as well. Higher lows, 30-minute time frame. Looks like it's going to press up higher on Monday. Good volume into the close. I like it. Can't be an options trade, though. I'm not sure if it's even optionable, but either way, you know that it's going to be a very, very thin market on the options. So I would probably trade the common here. Next chart up is Robert Half International. You could see here that on a 30-minute time frame, we broke out above not one resistance level, but two, and we did it on volume. So you can see the value of the scanner as you proceed into the new trading week. WDC, not loving this one. We paused at resistance. So what I'm liking here is Accenture first and foremost. Let's take a moment and look at let's get rid of this. We'll come back to it. Look at the weekly chart and how it closed. Very nice here. We are in a very tight wedge formation. And here, I'll take these off. I'm showing you the value of the automated trend lines. This is the algorithm at work. Click of a button. There you have it, support and resistance levels. And it looks as though we are going to break out. So this is one where I'd be fine with wanting to open up a small position and then add more on a breakout above this upper band of resistance. Or I should say these upper bands of resistance. So ACN. And we may be longer this tomorrow morning. And we do send out trade alerts to members when we do exit, enter, or add to a position. Anytime we change the position, we send out alerts. So Accenture makes it onto our watch list. Let's go to a daily chart. Looking good here. We broke out on a daily time frame on technically Thursday, and then we had a continuation move up higher on Friday. Now, if we do a retrace back down to this lower band of support, I'd look to open up my position there. If by chance we get the pullback, that may not happen, but if it does, well, we want an alert in place letting us know that hey, we have some support below that's being tested. And if it holds, well, then we want to be a part of it. And there we go. So we're set here. So I'm going to take Accenture and I'm going to add it to our watch list for the new trading week. So that's the value of having the scanning functionality, the alert functionality that TrendSpider provides you. Now we're going to go over to our saved stored chart list, and we're going to take a look at net. How did the markets close out the session last week? Now, there's a debate, and we're going to be going over this tonight, Sunday Night Futures Live, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Are we in a rising wedge formation, threatening to put in a double top on the S&P 500, or are we poised for a breakout? Answer, yes. Right? We don't know. We don't know until the market tells us that either A, we have a break, or B, that we have a market that has legs, a breakout that has legs. So we'll talk about it tonight, but either way, you need to be in a defined risk strategy in this market environment. What does that mean? Not overweight common stock, know your stop loss, or use a call spread if you're bullish, a put spread if you're bearish, and that way you know going into the trade that you know your max loss automatically. We'll be talking about that tonight. So real quick snapshot in time here. Trip Qs, which are leading the market by a mile. Very strong close on Friday. Remember, though, it was the end of the month. What does that mean? You may have seen some window dressing on the part of fund managers, and we may get a pause, a bit of a pullback moving into the new trading week. But net, I have to say, this is a very bullish chart, and it looks as though the path of least resistance remains to the upside on the Qs. Volume is very good. So you're seeing some institutional demand here. Now, taking a look at a 30-minute chart and how we closed out the session, a very strong close. But again, this is a very powerful move. And at some point in time, you're going to need to see a pause, a pullback, a pause that refreshes, and then quite possibly a continuation breakout. So as we look at these charts, we're not going to be looking necessarily at looking for shorts with the exception of one. That'll be Chipotle Mexican Grill. All I'm looking for right now are two other charts to add to our long watch list. And then I'll talk to you about Chipotle Mexican Grill and how I'm actually underwater on the trade. I'm going to share with you that trade and how we plan on either A, scratching the trade to close flat, or B, profiting on the trade, because I do plan on shorting it. And I'll tell you why in a moment. So let's take a look at the first chart up. This is silver, leveraged ETF. Loving the setup here on silver. However, the dollar is threatening to break out. They trade inversely. Therefore, I'm worried about silver shorter term if the dollar does in fact rally. So I'm not going to include this one at this point in time. That could change if the dollar breaks. Airbnb, extended. I don't want to short it. I don't want to buy it. Adobe, a bit extended here. Good close. It's probably going up higher, but not my favorite. Amazon, definitely not my favorite. Apple reports earnings this week. We're going to pass on that. Broadcom, Let's make note of Broadcom because I know what the daily chart looks like already. We had broken out 2 weeks ago, a little over a week ago, and the breakout had failed. So we got long. We were stopped out of the trade. So I'm looking to re-enter this trade in the coming days and weeks. But remember, earnings. We're not going to put on any of these trades in advance of earnings, not simple swing trades. Too much risk. You want to avoid risk. Boeing. I did a video on this yesterday. It's posted on YouTube. This isn't a longer term consolidation. I think that you can nibble on this one. However, not good for swing trading at this current time. BlackRock looking good. I'm not loving the banks right now. Looks like it wants to move up higher, but I'm worried about the banks in general. Therefore, we pass. Chipotle Mexican Grill. We're going to come back to this one in a moment. We're going to do a analysis of the monthly chart, daily chart, weekly chart, and also the intraday charts as well. Coinbase. I like this. We had a strangle on this. That's a simultaneous sale in our case of puts and calls. We book profits. We move to the sidelines. And I'm liking this setup here. We are in a consolidation. Stokes, meaning momentum, moving up higher. RSI, same deal. These momentum indicators, they're putting in higher highs and higher lows, even while the price is really not showing all that much gumption yet. But I know what the daily chart looks like already. We're going to go over that. We're adding Coinbase as a long 2-hour watch list. Coin makes it. CrowdStrike. I love the 30-minute chart setup. I know what the daily chart looks like. It's not looking good. So while we may get a pop here, I don't think that pop on CrowdStrike is going to have legs. They reported earnings. They were not good. Therefore, we walk away. Disney looking good here. It's already extended. Good volume into the close on Friday. I'm going to pass, though. DocuSign. Looking good here. Higher lows. I already know what the daily chart looks like. I'm going to make note of DocuSign as a possible trade going into the new trading week. Domino's Pizza reported earnings. We're going to pass on that. Earnings are not good. You're probably still going to have some distribution out there. Google, from an intraday perspective, not looking all that wonderful. However, the daily charts are looking good here. I think there's more consolidation to go. I'm going to pass. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised to see a breakout on Monday, but I'm not feeling all that excited about the 30-minute time frame, so I'm going to pass here. GLD, again, another instance where you have a strong U.S. dollar. You don't want to go buying silver and gold at current. I think longer term, they're both going to head up higher. Shorter term, it looks like the dollar wants to move up higher. Therefore, I think you're going to be able to get silver and gold at better prices. So we're going to pass on gold for now. We own it. We like it. Meta, 30-minute chart. Looking good here. I think that it's probably going to move up higher. The however is, I know what the daily chart looks like. The daily chart looks like it's very extended. And if you're going to enter this trade, you had better be using a trailing stop loss order. And I'd be concerned about going home with the shares overnight for fear of a gap down the next morning. Very extended. So I'm going to pass on Meta. Microsoft, same deal here. Very extended daily time frame. It's important to know what the daily charts look like when you're looking at the 30-minute charts, because this could look real pretty, which it does. It looks as though it wants to move higher. Look at the Stokes. Look at this higher low here. It's beautiful. But for argument's sake, let's take a look at a daily chart. You're leaning up and into the third standard deviation Bollinger Band for the third consecutive day. This is unsustainable. So therefore, do I want to initiate a new trade right here, right now? No, too much risk, not enough reward. Moderna, 30-minute chart. I would not put long money to work here. It looks like it does want to move up higher, but I would not buy Moderna because I think that at some point in time, there's a day of reckoning coming for Pfizer and Moderna, and I do not want to have long skin in the game when that announcement's made. Nike is actually looking very, very good here. Nike, we need to add to it. I should say add it to our watch list. We'll take a look at it in a moment. Weekly chart, monthly chart, daily chart, intraday chart. I'm loving the consolidation here. 127.25 around there is resistance. And I think that this is going to get resolved to the upside as soon as Monday morning. We like it. Next chart up, Netflix. Netflix 30-minute view looking really, really good here. NFLX. We'll keep an eye on that one. We'll take a look at how expensive the options are. NVIDIA, too extended. We'll pass. PayPal, nice little run, a little bit extended intraday basis. Qualcomm, it's already had a nice run, needs a pause, needs a pullback, and I would definitely consider getting along with Qualcomm. I like it. Shopify, this was on our watch list for last week. It did very well last week. Now, what we want to see is a continuation move up higher. I think we're going to get it, but I'm not loving this chart, so I'm going to pass here. Target, daily chart, higher low. I like the other stocks better that we've already picked out, so we're going to pass. CRM, looks like this is going up higher. They're reporting earnings soon, so I'm going to pass on CRM, but I do believe that CRM is going to move up in the next trading week, and probably on Monday, it's going up higher. Twilio, nice consolidation here on Twilio. First thing that comes to mind with this name is it eligible for a short squeeze? So let's add this as a maybe. We'll take a look at the daily chart, weekly chart, monthly chart. Tesla, I'm not interested in Tesla right now. It's looking good intraday. Looks like it's going to pop, but I'm not loving the daily chart, the weekly chart. Actually, the daily chart, I'm going to refresh my memory. I think it closed bullish on Monday or Friday. No, it was actually Thursday I was thinking about. And we got the breakout on Friday. I'm not loving this. I'm just not. I'm not feeling it. So we're going to pass. Walmart, this is already extended, at least on a daily time frame. All right, so we're up and through the third standard. Actually, this is a 3-minute chart. Mislabeled, that's why. Let's take a look at it on a daily chart really quick. Nah, I'm not loving it. Double top on Stokes. It's already run. Zoom is interesting. So Zoom. All right, so let's spend a moment here and talk a little bit about the charts we want to upvote. We already talked about Accenture. I want to take a look at, since we're talking about 30-minute charts, I want to take a look at the daily charts first to see how we're setting up. And then I want to look for any danger signs like extreme overbought levels on a weekly time frame or a monthly time frame. So let's begin with Nike. And again, folks, we're using, I just typed that in wrong. We're using TrendSpider, automated technical analysis. Use the link below, 35% discount code. This is the only company I promote. I've been doing this a long time. If I can ever type this symbol right, there we go. All right, so Nike daily chart looks very good. Looks like it wants to pop up higher. Take note, resistance immediately above. Multiple resistance levels at 127, 127.71, 128.38, and 130. So a lot of resistance or overhead supply above. How do we know that that's there? Simple. The algorithm tells us. Take it off, put it back on, okay? Weekly view, we broke out last week. So Nike's looking good here. I'm just concerned about that daily overhead supply. I'm loving the weekly breakout on Nike. So we're going to add Nike to the list. And we can always take it off if we find something that's better. But keep in mind, earnings. I don't know when earnings are. Maybe they reported, maybe they didn't. So check on earnings. I did not do my homework. Bad Bob. All right, let's continue on here. Coinbase. Coin weekly chart, not looking great. Let's go to the daily view. It's holding on to support. Really nice consolidation here. I think that if Bitcoin is strong, let's check out Bitcoin because they're very tightly correlated. Bitcoin is up at current nearly 1.5%. Coinbase gets added onto our watch list. Definitely added to our watch list. CMG stays. I have Nike on here twice. Okay. See if we like anything else better than other names. TWLO. This is a daily chart holding support. $30-minute chart. Looks good. TWLO looks good. I think that this is going to run this week. TWLO. All right, we're going to add another row here. ACN, Nike, Coinbase, CMG. We're going to add TWLO to our list. We have one space left open now. So we have Zoom and DocuSign and Netflix. Let's bring up Netflix. All right, so 30-minute chart, we have resistance immediately above on Netflix. This is the value again, folks, of the automated trend lines. So much time saved. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. How are we poised to move? I'm loving the tight Bollinger Bands. Very, very tight and narrowing. I like this setup. Earnings are in the rearview mirror. Daily chart. Daily chart's looking sharp. I don't like the down volume on Friday. I shouldn't say down volume. Lighter up volume on Friday. I think that this could be bought tight stop immediately below that 321 mark. So Netflix looking good. So it's a toss-up. We'll throw Netflix on here. It's a toss-up. With Netflix. Let's see what else we have that might look better than Netflix. You don't want to have too many stocks on your watch list. That's why I try to stick to 4. I'll stretch it to 6 if I see a lot of good opportunities. Zoom. Zoom has gotten beaten up like a baby seal. And what we're seeing here on a daily chart is that the stock has really begun to stop going down, right? So Stokes are very oversold. Let's take a look at it on a weekly time frame. Not a good week last week. It held support. I drew this last week, I believe. 61.11 held. Let's go to an intraday view. It's looking really good. It's looking really good. Torn here. One hour view. I think Zoom is going to run. All right, let's torn. We already went over Twilio. DocuSign we did not go over. DocuSign 1 hour chart, resistance immediately above. How do we close out the week last week? Weekly chart. We're trying to hold support at around the 47.78 mark, daily view. Nice. This is looking good. I mean, wow, this is some really good charts here. It looks like these names, these are like the dogs of the NASDAQ. They've been beaten up dramatically. Zoom, Twilio, uh, DOCU. Uh, it looks like they want to rally. It looks like they want to rally. So what I would say here is why not look at all these names are probably in ARKK, ARK Innovation Fund. Is there a trade to be had there? Not loving the weekly Stokes. Very weak. Not loving the daily chart. Thirty-minute chart looks good here. All right. We got to make up our minds. From a shorter term view, Netflix has resistance immediately above TWLO. Good close on volume, no overhead supply. DOCU. Twilio makes it. Twilio's already on here. You know what? We can keep Zoom. Good. So these are our names going into the new trading week. Accenture, Nike, Coinbase, Chipotle. Now I got to talk about Chipotle in a moment. Twilio and Zoom. All right, let's talk about Chipotle. We spoke about Chipotle last week, very, very bullishly and accurately so. The shares ripped up higher. Now, the anticipated market maker move on CMG earnings was to be about $18. So I went out about a little over twice that. And I sold calls and I sold puts below. Therefore, I am the casino, and the casino got rocked on this one because the earnings were so good. The shares just blasted through the anticipated market maker move. My strike on the call side was at 1970 per share. That's the strike price. Expiration was last Friday. We rolled out the trade for a credit out to May the 12th. So right now I'm currently underwater. I need for these shares to retrace back down to 1970 per share, which is around this mark. That's about a 4% move. So going into the trading week, I am technically short of CMG. So what's the game plan? What else can I do here to help turn chicken poop into chicken salad, as my father would say? And it's this. Let's go to the weekly chart of Chipotle. Now, I want to have not so much my Stokes. Let's get rid of Stokes. I want to bring up RSI. Again, let's get rid of Stokes. There we go. Okay, so on a weekly time frame, take note of this red line here. What this red line represents is the third standard deviation Bollinger Band. And in short, I'll save you the technical jargon. We're not supposed to be there, right? A lot of window dressing, a lot of fund managers wanted to add this to their portfolio. They want to send out their statements showing that they were long of CMG the entire month or the entire quarter. And in reality, they weren't. They just added it the last trading day after all the gains have been made, but they want to make their clients feel good. That's ethical. But anyway, that's the game that we play here. So last week's price action was extremely bullish, no doubt about it. And path of least resistance remains higher for CMG. Daily view. Now, on a daily view, we're again still flirting with the third standard deviation Bollinger Band. But now when you take a look at RSI, RSI closed out the session on Friday at 86.57. So what you're seeing here is an unsustainable uptrend. It needs to pull back, consolidate gains, and then it could proceed up higher for all I know. But it's very expensive historically. And I think that we're going to get a pullback here in fairly short order. And what I want to do is I want to buy some puts. Now, what the weekly trend line is telling you, you have more resistance up here at around 23.67. I hope to God it's not going up there. Let's overlay quarterly. No resistance above. Let's go to the intraday chart, see if they're picking off any type of resistance above. We're going to scroll through a few of these. No, these are all looking very bullish. Not providing any overhead supply. So what we need to do when you have a situation like this is, while I'm confident that the shares are going to pull back ultimately, I would like to buy some puts on CMG because the shares are in an unsustainable uptrend. So we can't go buying. Let's go through a couple more. You can't go buying puts until you know you have an edge over other traders. What's the first edge? Well, it's extremely overbought. We know that on a weekly and daily time frame. The problem is that you still have momentum behind the shares, and momentum is a very powerful thing. Look at this yearly breakout, massive. So what I would want to do here, yeah, that's bananas. There's a lot more upside here. So I'm not feeling great about this position right now, but that's trading, folks. All right. So what I'm going to be looking for, I'm going to take RSI off. We want RSI to remain extended. Volume is still very strong. Again, that's momentum. Those are money managers that are buying up these shares. You don't want to fight these guys. You want to wait until momentum begins to wane and volume begins to wane. I'm looking for that's not what I wanted. I don't have MACD up here. I'm shocked. Let's go up to indicators. MACD, apply, and there's our MACD. So down below, let's take RSI off, clean this up a little bit. Okay, so down below, you could see that these volume bars, the histogram, don't worry about the lines. The histograms are rising. That's momentum. All right, so what you want to see before you start adding to a trade or opening a short trade on extreme overbought stock, you want to make sure that these momentum bars are flattening out and beginning to diminish. And you want to leg in. You never want to go shorting all at once. You want to nibble, 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 and you want to average into the trade. So that's what we plan on doing this coming week. And the biggest enemy that we have right now is that we don't have clear and defined immediate resistance above. I do not think that we're heading up to 2,300 before all is said and done. Ultimately, by the end of the year, can we? Sure. But I think we need a pause, a retrace, a consolidation of gains, and then we will look to get long of CMG because I happen to love the earnings. I mean, that was just fantastic. Folks, we're going to be going live tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. There's a link below. Enter your email address and one of the gifts that we give out. One is the 5-part video tutorial on my top 5 favorite candlestick patterns. If you're watching this on the replay, you want to get invited to the next live stream. These are private live streams, and enter your email address below, and you'll also get invited to our nightly live streams, Sunday night and Thursday night. Folks, take advantage of TrendSpider, 35% discount code below. I give it away free to our silver and gold level members. So if you want our premium analysis, join 14-day for trial offer to the Contrarian Trader, trade alerts, coaching, and a lot of engagement as well. We have a Slack channel. Join up. Folks, I'll talk to you tonight. Be well.